कौन सी बीमारियां मोस्टली आपके पास तक आती हैं?
Actually, I see cancer patients.
Can you please define the stress level?
Very surprised to know is your looks.
हम लाइफ स्टाइल को चेंज करने के लिए कैसे इस पे काम कर सकते हैं?
Work-life balance is very important.
So many these supplements is good or not? कौन से टाइप का कैंसर है जो इंडिया की वुमेन में आपको सबसे ज्यादा देखने मिलता है यार? What are the advancement you have?
When I was a student, we had nothing. We knew just a few drugs which were given for cancer treatment, a few radiation methods which used to actually burn the skin and the other areas.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first season of The Built Mind. Here I'm going to talk about the women professionals from the different fields which are going to talk about your daily life. So theme for this season is Daily Life Squad. And here I'm having today Dr. Swarupa Mitra, who is the head and the director of Oncology Department, Fortis Hospital, Gurgaon. She is not just a doctor, surgeon, but also she is academician and the researcher. And she'll talk about the women health today and the cancer, and then we'll get to know about her personal life, how she got motivated to come here, and you can also be one of her. So let's talk to her. I really welcome you, ma'am. Thank you so much to be here. How are you feeling?
Good morning, everyone. Avitesh, I'm so happy to be here and being your first guest. That gives me the honor and the privilege. I'm extremely happy and proud to be here.
Thank you so much. Yes, with the first episode, so I actually, because health is our first priority, so
Yes.
I chose you so that we can talk about health here. And for the first question, I would like to ask you, what kind of health issues you got to know about in your daily life, और कौन-कौन सी चीजें हैं जो आपको समझनी है, या तो कौन सी बीमारियां मोस्टली आपके पास तक आती हैं डेली लाइफ में?
So, actually, I see cancer patients, but beyond that, I come across women जिनको health problems है. जो common health problems women, matured adult women, are many actually. Cardiac disease है, lung disease है, but I'll talk about the health issues which are exclusively for women. So इसमें तो एक आते हैं कि stress. I think mental stress एक बहुत बड़ी issue है in all women of our country across strata. Other than stress, there are mental disappointments, mental worries, so which actually is above everything for women.
So in today's life, we are talking about the women empowerment.
Yes.
And women are working in the field. Everybody is out. Most of the women, if you talk about the metropolitan cities, and still you are saying that there is so much stress. So can you please define the stress level and how they are into the stress?
Yes, so actually stress is, like I said, across all strata of women. I'll be talking about only women. So the main common causes of stress these days are, first is work. Those who are working, they have the stress related to work. Second, which all studies also, so you'll be very surprised to know, is your looks. Looks is a very important cause of stress. Q, because say it gives you the self-confidence. It gives you the confidence to go out and meet people. So your looks, how you present to others, so that is a very important point of stress. Others are, of course, financial worries, your family worries, your children, bereavement, losing someone is a very important cause of stress. Seeing someone suffer in your family or loved ones, they are very unspoken, you cannot discuss with people, but these are causes of stress. And another important thing is that something which has happened in the past, you relive them, and that is a constant underlying source of stress. So these are the very common causes of stress. Now what happens is that, how does it affect? You asked me how it affects us. So compare yourself to a bucket. Our whole mind and body, it is a bucket. And you keep on filling it with different kinds of stress. At one point of time, it is full, and that stress overflows. And that is when you have symptoms. And what kind of symptoms do you have? First is that you cannot concentrate. You don't feel happy. You are always depressed. You cannot sleep. And there is an underlying feeling of doom, disheartenment, कि अब कुछ नहीं होगा मेरे life में. So these are kind of stress you have. So how do you release this? So you have to release. Like I said, our body is a bucket. It is overflowing with stress. How do you release it? There has to be a tap somewhere. You have to open it and release it. And that is how we release our stress. And all of us have different ways to release our stress.
Okay, so better women health को promote करने के लिए we need to release the stress first.
Absolutely.
That is the only way to be the healthy.
Absolutely.
Okay, and इसके अलावा और क्या सकते हैं? The better living, or you can say the lifestyle of the women. Yes, yes. So
Absolutely.
what should be that? Because everybody has a different list to be happy, right? And stress is something other thing. Some has the work stress, the family stress, and and you said the looks are really important now. And
Very
that is
important,
also
very
yeah.
important point of view.
I didn't think about that, but yes, if you are saying yes, this is important.
It is.
So हम लाइफस्टाइल को चेंज करने के लिए कैसे इस पे काम कर सकते हैं?
So, to release the stress, like you said, the lifestyle is a very important factor. But before that, I will like to stress on a few points. Work-life balance. For those who are working, work-life balance is very important. How we work out a balance between our family life and the professional life. Second is that sleep. Sleep is very important. One should have about 6 to 7 hours of good sleep. That is a healthy sleep. And that sleep should be without any phone calls, without any disruptions, and in a cool, quiet, maybe dark room. So sleep is very important. A third is how much water you take. Water is important. That we say about 3 liters of water per day is important. So that actually flushes your body. Next is that your diet, like you said, and exercise. So diet and exercise, these two factors are that constitute our lifestyle. And as the WHO also says, about 60% cancers are lifestyle diseases.
Okay.
And all other diseases like your heart disease, lung disease, they are all lifestyle diseases.
Okay. When you just said about the food and the diets, so there are so many videos on the Instagram and YouTube talking about that we have to take the supplements after some age.
Yes.
What is your takeaway? Because you are the expert for this.
Yes.
We are taking supplements for the vitamin D and all the vitamins what we have, the magnesium for the good sleep. So taking so many these supplements is good or not? I don't know about it.
Yes. So, actually diet is always, it should be natural. And what is a good healthy diet? Good healthy diet is something which has more roughage or more fiber in your diet. Second is more of vegetables, colored fruits. Colored fruits means oranges, apples, and bananas, citrus fruits. They are all colored fruits. Leafy vegetables means spinach and all the kinds of saag you have. So they are all colored fruits and vegetables. Then protein. So you should have adequate amount of protein and calories and fat and minerals and vitamins in your diet. In proteins, whether you're non-veg or veg, you can see, whichever protein is it's good for you or what you can take. So that amount of protein must be there in the diet. So for non-veg, it is the chicken, the fish, the egg. Mutton, of course, it's a red meat. It should be in a limited quantity. It's not having mutton every day. For veg, it is difficult many times to find in all good source of proteins. So these are the healthy diet one should have. But coming to supplements, normally we do not, as doctors, we do not really encourage supplements except when you need. So I think we can talk a little bit about menopause. So that time we'll talk more about menopause. But many people have a deficiency of vitamin B.
Yes.
Vitamin D is a very common deficiency these days, with deficiency of calcium. So these are the minerals, vitamins, which can be taken as a supplement, but under the supervision of a doctor. Because a lot of vitamin, a lot of extra amount of calcium or minerals, they can be detrimental to health also.
Yes.
So everything should be in a very measured, supervised proportion.
Yeah, so this lifestyle actually impacting every woman है ना और आजकल इतना स्ट्रेस है सब लोग ले रहे हैं. Now the other stress is at home, right? For the young kids, they are having some menstrual problems, right? And the young ladies after marriage, the problem is with baby, no, they are not having this. And then the menopause, of course. The problem is every time, whenever they are on any stage of life. So what do you think? What a woman should keep in mind during their early days when she is a girl, teenager, and then after marriage and the menopause. And I would like to focus on the menopause especially क्योंकि आजकल लोगों का सबसे ज़्यादा problem वही है and they are feeling really bad about it. So what to do?
About what is it?
Menopause.
Menopause, yes, absolutely. So I think I'll divide your question into two parts. First is
Or maybe three.
three.
Because the young kids who are the teenager
yes,
and after marriage and the menopause. I think.
yes. So coming to young girls who are just starting the menstrual cycle, and they have again the different problems. So we as parents, we have to be very vigilant because they need to be tackled differently. So that support needs to be given. Their confidence needs to be boosted. There's so much of bullying in the schools these days. And there is no, the student-teacher relationship which we had or our parents had is no more there. So that has to be strengthened. The teacher-student relationship and the parents and the children relationship, they have to be strengthened with trust and love.
Yes.
I believe a kind of stress is needed. This is absolutely my personal feeling. I think some kind of stress is needed. In fact, there is a word called eustress. Eustress means a normal stress. जो आजकल हम करते हैं बच्चों को नहीं stress नहीं देना है. There is no rank. There is no examination. Why? If you do not teach the students or the children to be exposed to stress, they will not know how to respond to stress.
Absolutely
So
correct.
some kind of stress is needed. So it is very important to undergo that stress. So that is called as eustress. So I believe that much stress needs to be given. Then when you fall in later on in life, if you are unsuccessful, you know how to stand up again.
Yes.
You know how to be confident. You know how to learn from your past experiences. So this is no more there. So when these children grow up, they are left absolutely alone in the world and they depend on the social media, and which is not the right way. After marriage, so after marriage, we women mostly we don't think about ourselves. We try all our best to keep our in-laws and parents and husband and everybody happy.
And then the kids, of course.
Then the kids, of course. And we don't look after ourselves. That is not the right way. I always say something in which I had read that don't burn yourself to keep somebody else warm.
Yeah.
It's not the right way. I believe, what the air hostess says in the flights, that before you put on the air masks to the children, first put on the masks yourself. Because unless and until you protect yourself, you are happy, you keep yourself happy, how can you keep others happy? So this is something that has to be instilled in our women.
That's a very big message.
Absolutely. Because what we feel, although I have not been like that, but many of us, we feel guilty, doing something for ourselves. So we will not do that. I think that is not the right way. If I feel that I am right and I want to do this, this is what makes me happy, I will do it. And this is not sacrifice. So this is not sacrifice. This is wrong. So, and then coming to the menopause, this is again, I think this is nowadays we are seeing, and this is a very happy journey actually. Menopause, it used to be something, the end of life, we used to say. Even my mother and grandmother have seen, menopause ho gaya hai. That means So you are no more decking yourself up. So you have completely left one pressed. So it is not that these days, and it's very nice.
Like in my generation, what we think about this, ki after that we'll be happy because the 4-5 days of every month now we'll be happy, we'll not feel the pain. So this is our thought. I don't know what is going to happen then. So here I'm going to ask you, what is going to happen after that?
Yeah. So menopause, what happens is that the estrogen progesterone hormone, which is the hormone for femininity, so that goes down in the body. But I think it should be taken positively. So what are the disturbances that happen with menopause? Since the estrogen progesterone level have gone down, so it affects the heart. The blood vessels of the heart, they may get narrowed. So it may cause cardiac problems. There is a tendency to obesity. So third is that, which is very important again, that the bones of our body, they are called osteoporosis or osteopenia. They get thinned. So they are more liable to fracture. Other than this, the tendency to depression.
Okay.
So feeling of loneliness, depression, you have hot flashes all of a sudden, you feel perspiration. So these are all the early signs of menopause.
Okay.
In other women, there may be a vaginal dryness, there may be difficulty in the sexual contact with the husband. So they all lead to depression. But there is a way out. These days, people are talking about hormone replacement therapy. I personally and all our oncologist friends, we do not support hormone replacement therapy because they are generally not taken under supervision. Because hormones, most of these hormones, they cause cancer also.
Yes.
Unless and until they are taken under supervision, they are bad. So personally, I don't really, unless and until very much indicated, I would not really say go for hormone replacement therapy. Instead of that, there are other things you can do, like your bones, they are getting thinned out. So your energy level are going down. So you have to build up your muscles. So when you build up muscle strengthening exercises, this nobody talks about. In menopause, muscle strengthening exercises are very important because muscles they help you burn your calories. The more in menopausal women, the basal metabolic rate, that means the way you burn your calories, but that decreases. So you tend to gain fat. With the muscle building exercises, you burn your calories. So you decrease your fat, and also it helps to build your bones also. So muscle strengthening exercises, walking, moderate exercises, or whatever exercise one can do in their hours, in their lifestyle, that has to be done. And maybe sometimes some supplements here, like vitamin D or calcium, because they tend to go down. So they may be replaced.
Okay. Here I want to ask about you that the lifestyle we are living here in the metropolitan cities, is it actually the reason for the early menopause in the women?
There is no, I think this is a very relevant question you have asked. So it has been seen, that is where they are all, some cancers which are hormone related, they are being seen more, like the breast cancer, endometrial cancer. They have risen so much. These are all hormone related. So there is no direct evidence that, why the menopause is getting quicker these days, whether it is related to stress or not. It is still unknown.
Because I'm asking this question because you told me that it is going to impact on your cardiac thing, right?
Yes.
And I saw so many cases that women are getting cardiac arrest in the early age. So is this because of this thing or?
Not directly, because those who are having cardiac, which we are seeing every day, they are not in the menopausal age. They are even earlier. So it must be something else. And maybe obesity is a cause. But again, there are a lot of research is going on now. Why so many young cardiac deaths? Those who have been fit, those who are going to the gym every day. So we see them, we are losing them.
We talk about exercise in the diet, and the person who is going to gym every day, that is having the proper diet and
exercise. Absolutely. And we are losing them. So there must be something different. So yes, studies are going on. The cardiologists and others, they are doing some studies that why is this happening. But right now, we don't have any reason.
Okay. And here I want to ask about one more thing, which is again related with the menopause and the women health. That there are many women in the society that they are having the problem or some cancerous disease with the ovary or the uterus. So in early age only, doctor need to remove it, right? So what happened with this? This is
So again,
clinical menopause. You
yeah,
can say,
yeah,
right?
yeah. This is a surgery-induced menopause.
Yes.
So actually, all doctors, gynecologists, and us, we keep the removal of the ovaries and the uterus as the last option. We have seen many times that they have been removed without much consultation. They have not been removed at the right time. Probably they should not have been removed. They could have waited. So this is generally the last option. In a young premenopausal woman, removing ovaries and the uterus is not the right way unless and until that is the last option. It should not be done.
Okay, and when we are actually now into the cancerous thing, so I want to ask about the कौन से टाइप का कैंसर है जो इंडिया की वुमेन में आपको सबसे ज्यादा देखने मिलता है या सबसे ज्यादा केसेस आप देखते हैं?
Yes. So India is a varied country.
Yeah.
All of us know if we travel from north to south, east to west, the population changes, everything changes. So the type of cancer also changes. In the northern India, we have the breast cancer, endometrial cancer, they are maximum.
Okay.
But if you go to some parts of India, like which is the lower socioeconomic strata, there cervix cancer, that is the cancer of the mouth of the uterus, that is still common. About 10 years back, a few years back, cervix cancer used to be the commonest cancer. Because it used to be called as the cancer of the lower socioeconomic group, low hygiene status, low nutritional status. But now, as we are getting economically more advanced, the type of cancer which is commonest is changing. So for northern India and most of the India, it is the breast cancer, which is common. Again, breast cancer is a lifestyle disease. Like I said, most of the cancers, so 50% cancers are lifestyle disease, 60% cancers are preventable. So we call this a preventable tragedy. We are so scared of cancer, but it is one disease which can be prevented.
Yeah, the cancer word is very
yeah, that's a taboo.
But here I don't know what it is, whether it is correct or not, but I got to know about this because of the COVID. We are very much into the hygiene. I think because of that also the lifestyle has been changed. The hygiene properties has been changed in the women and the particularly families. So उससे भी मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारी women diseases जाने लगी है जो पहले बहुत ज़्यादा होती थी. What do you think about that? It is
So actually, if I talk about the cancer, it is, I don't think, again, linking it to COVID is, there's no evidence, although this research are going on. So I won't comment on anything on which research is going on, but the rise of breast cancer, ovarian cancer is because of our lifestyle as women.
Okay.
So most of us are working. Delayed marriage is a risk factor for breast cancer. Less children or having no children is a risk factor for breast and ovarian cancer. Obesity, that we don't move around, obesity, and our diet, smoking, these are all risk factors for breast cancer. For cervix cancer, it is just the opposite. Having more number of children is a risk factor for cervix cancer. Your nutritional level poor, anemia, genitourinary hygiene and the menstrual hygiene is not very good. So they are risk factors for cervix cancers.
And as you are a researcher also in this field, so what are the advancements you have nowadays for the cancer patients?
So for cancer patients, I think we have come a long, long way. The time when we were studying, when I was a student, we had nothing. We knew just a few drugs which were given for cancer treatment, a few radiation methods which used to actually burn the skin and the other areas. Surgery used to be for breast cancer, remove the breast. Rectal cancer, remove the cancer, remove the rectum. So removal of the organ used to be the way surgery was done. So now, if we talk of surgery, we have organ preservation. We don't remove breasts anymore. We do not put bags for rectal cancer anymore. So we are going ahead with organ preservation. Radiation therapy, they are much more targeted. So we can preserve all the normal organs and patients can go ahead with normal daily duties. Nobody needs to take a break to take the radiation or surgery. Chemotherapy side effects have reduced a lot. We can give chemotherapies in different ways where you do not need to lose your hair. There are daycare chemotherapies. You don't need to stay admitted. Then there are more chemotherapy methods coming where you can take the chemotherapy at home. So they have become more and more patient friendly. And of course, now immunotherapy is coming, targeted therapy is coming. So we have come a long, long way.
But there is one more question, that what about the early detection?
Yes.
And there are few cases कि वो एकदम fourth stage में पता लगता है.
Yes.
What is that thing?
Yeah, that is what I was coming.
Yes.
So this is one end of the spectrum which we can boast about. But the other end, like I said, India is a country of diversity. On the other end, we have plenty of patients who have no idea of what cancer is. And that is why they don't go early to get it detected, because they don't know that, what are the symptoms of cancer. Even if they know, we have seen there is somewhere in between these two spectrums is that they have been detected with cancer. They know that they have to go to the doctor, but they don't know where to go.
Yes.
Because the centers are so far away. So a patient with the family getting transported to another city to take a long course of treatment. So generally patients avoid, especially again women, they avoid. They won't speak up because they're not only the fear of the cancer, but it is the fear of the financial burden and the whole family being disrupted. That you go to another city and look at all the hospitals, they are burdened with patients. Long queues, delay in dates. A cancer patient gets a date 3 months later. What do you expect him to do?
True.
So these are two ends. So we have to make these two ends meet.
And in India, there is one more thing कि अगर आप टेस्ट करा रहे हो yearly और वहाँ कुछ नहीं निकल रहा है तो people think अरे waste हो गया पैसा यार. This is the very, very bad thing in India.
Absolutely.
Okay, so ma'am, I'm asking about this, what I just said. So what do you think? Should we go for the checkups every year or not? Because 80% of the Indian society think कि पैसा क्यों खराब करना है, इससे अच्छा कुछ और कर लिया जाए. So they are not taking care of health. Let me tell you one example. See, अगर पुलिस आपका चालान नहीं काटती है, so you are not going to wear the helmet, right? आप हेलमेट इसलिए पहन रहे हो क्योंकि आपको पुलिस से पैसे बचा रहे हैं, not this कि आपको अपनी जान बचानी है. This is the main thing. तो I think थोड़ा civic sense से ज़्यादा health की अगर awareness आए so that we can help them. So what do you think about the tests or not?
So I'm actually, personally, I'm quite confused whether so many tests, they actually mean anything or not.
Okay.
As a like executive checkup, or I do not know actually you get to really know anything from that or not. If you, as far as cancer is concerned, you don't get to know from these executive checkups. You don't, because there's nothing, none of the tests are meant for cancer detection except mammography. Except mammography.
Okay.
But sometimes that is very, not many patients are really detected so early with cardiac ailments or liver ailments. Not so much for the tests, but of course, I won't discourage anybody to going through the tests. I think yearly blood tests or a chest X-ray or mammography is absolutely okay. If from out of many patients, at least some can be detected early. Maybe some disease can be picked up early. Coming to the what did you ask? Next question is that
I asked you which test we should go for.
yeah.
This.
So if I talk about cancer, there is something called the screening tests. Screening tests are those tests which are done on normal public.
Okay.
Nobody has any symptoms, but we do some tests to pick up the cancer before it produces a symptom.
Okay.
So, but there are not many recommended tests for all cancers. So we have tests now for cervix cancer. We have, which is the pap smear and the HPV test. And we have the test for the breast cancer, which is the mammography and self-breast examination, which can be done at home. And we have for oral cancer, which is very normal clinical detection. So pap smear mammography, I think they should be done according to the guidelines for all adults. They should be done because these two cancers are curable cancers.
Okay.
So if they are picked up early, even before the symptoms, there are very, very high chances of getting them cured, more than 90-95% chances. So these are absolutely fine. I would like to talk about vaccination. So vaccination is something which is important. Nowadays, there are a lot of questions coming from the Russian vaccine that is there a vaccine for cancer? So my answer is no. There is no vaccine for cancer as yet. We have a vaccination for cervix cancer, but it is not the vaccine for cervix cancer per se. It is a vaccine for the virus which causes the cervix cancer.
Okay.
So it is very
prevention.
important to understand
Yeah.
it is not the vaccine for the cancer, it is the vaccine for the
Virus.
virus which
Okay.
causes the cancer. So this vaccination should be taken. That is the vaccination for the HPV virus, which protects against the cervix cancer. They should be taken by all girls after menstruation starts. That means for 9-10 years old till sexual exposure or marriage. So that is the right age. A vaccination should be taken. And they protect from about 90% of the cervical cancers. So that should be done.
Okay. And I read somewhere also that the breast cancer is not just for women, but also in men.
Yes.
What about this? Because I mean, I'm not talking about this, because, but it can happen.
Yes, it
So
can
please
happen. Yeah,
put some light.
absolutely. Breast cancer is common in men also, but they shy away from speaking about it. It is common, and breast cancer is is more aggressive than breast cancer in female. It is not as common as in females, but it is there.
Okay. So they also think about it, right?
Yes. They should be aware.
Okay. So it is a great knowledge, and you are being an expert. So what is your latest research now for this thing?
For
Your latest research, because you are a
oh,
researcher
for
also.
me,
Yes, yes.
okay. So I am working on some papers. So from mostly at present on breast cancer, I'm working. So I've collected the data, and let us see when the research comes out. And I am going out for some paper presentation for some lectures as a visiting teacher. I enjoy teaching students of oncology. So both in India, and I'm fortunate to get a chance abroad also for teaching. I love teaching, whatever
Yes.
I can do.
This is so lovely. I mean, and I just want to ask you about this thing, that what was the thing you got from the motivation to be an oncologist?
So it was by chance, actually.
Okay.
So I belong to a very, very middle class family. Both my parents were teachers, and we did not even have a car. We didn't even have a TV. So we belong to a very middle class, but educated. So all we knew all through our childhood is education. So that is everything. So that is how we were brought up. And after I became a doctor, there was a study. We needed to appear for an all India test for post-graduation. So after I got through the test, I did not know now where to go, what to look for, means what subject should I opt for. And that is the time when somebody told me, some of my senior, they told me that go for oncology. Because there are not many women in that time, there are not many women in oncology, and it will be a growing branch always. So they knew, I wanted to study. So for me, earning money was less important than doing research or teaching. So they said it will suit you. So that is how it was just out of impulse. I went and I got a seat also in oncology.
So
But then I have no regrets right now.
that's so nice. So anything you want to tell women so that they can feel happy? Because stress is the main cause for the any disease.
Yes.
So that they can find something, or the motivation. Because I read somewhere कि आप कहीं ना कहीं कभी ना कहीं किसी को motivate करते हो. So do the good work always.
Yes.
कि
yes.
एक्चुअल में आपसे कभी कोई मोटिवेट हो तो अच्छे तरीके से हो, not in the bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what you want to say the women which are outside in the stress, working daily, and I don't know why they are taking so much stress, but yes, there is a stress.
Yes.
So
yes.
and that is impacting their life too much. So what is your takeaway or your message to them?
Yeah. What I believe is that the first thing I always tell everybody that priority. All children should be taught to prioritize. So always, we have a dilemma, we have many options or many responsibilities, which one to do first. So you have to be taught that this is my priority. So I should be doing this now. And second is prioritizing yourself.
Yes.
If you do not prioritize yourself, somebody else will do it for you.
Very true.
And that is bad then.
Yeah.
Then you lose the control on yourself. So one is the priority. Second is being very optimistic. Nothing is the end of the world. Nothing is more important than life. And happiness is something nobody can give you. Nobody can give you a mantra that this is happiness and you take this. You have to find happiness within yourself, within your surrounding. And for that, you have to be happy within yourself, satisfied within yourself. And the third is that do not compete with anyone. So I always try to be my own competitor. Tomorrow, I would like to be a better person than I was today. And nobody is my competitor. Everybody is doing their best in their life. And I am nowhere over them. And I don't want to compete with them. So I think these three, according to me, which have kept me happy and kept me positive and motivated always.
When people talk about the independency, I change this word with the health because we need a financial health, the mental health and the physical health.
Yes.
Not the independency, but the health. Right?
Yes.
Because it's a positive word and you need to be healthy in all the ways.
Yes.
So for mental health, what we can help to other women and what a person who is not being well or who is suffering from some mental issues, then what we can do for her and what should be the...
Yeah, I think this is a very important question you have asked. And this is an issue. I lost my PG student. She committed suicide. She was a very good student. She completed MD, her super specialization. She was doing somewhere in South. And one day I heard that she committed suicide. So there are 2, 3 I have heard that they have committed suicides who are distressed. So there must be something with this which is going on within our mind or people. Not everybody is as strong as we always think. So everybody has their own battles they are fighting. Not everybody has the support from outside and not everybody can reach out. So I think that if I am having some problem within me, so I have to be aware and I have to reach out. I have to reach out to my friends. And if I do not have friends or relatives, do not shy away from taking a help from a therapist. So there is a taboo that do not go to a psychologist, a counselor or a psychiatrist. No, they are friends. I think they are the most unbiased friends we have. So always reach out to a psychiatrist or a counselor or a psychologist. They will always guide you. And many times, the person who is suffering from depression is not able to reach out. We around us, we should be looking out for such people. If we feel that somebody, some of our friends, colleagues, somebody around is not mentally as healthy as they are and is not speaking about it, many times they pretend. They pretend to be over happy.
Yes.
But we have to, point out these people and reach out to them if they are not reaching out. Maybe we can save a life.
So being a professor myself, what I saw in my students, that they are not able to speak. So 60 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, the freedom was the physical, that we need that fight, right? But today's, what we have a prison in our mind and we are not going to open the doors. We are not telling anybody that what we are going to feel, right? That is the main issue. If we can feel that we can talk about it, that is the main freedom.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
right, we are not
Absolutely.
going to do it. And this is with everybody, because
With everyone.
we have the fear that that person is going to laugh on me, और कोई मुझे बेचारा समझ लेगा, और ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है. तो सबको strong दिखना है, because there is the saying that this word is not for emotions. But yes, your friends are.
Absolutely. There's
You
no
have
harm in
to.
breaking down.
Yeah.
There's no harm in crying.
Yes.
There's no harm in shedding tears. It is not weakness. I think it is a strength that you have let yourself out.
Yes,
It needs a lot of courage.
actually.
It's
And
absolutely true.
that is the basic thing to be the healthy person. The
Yes.
freedom is this nowadays, and the independence is your health.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's the main thing.
Health is in a holistic. It's a physical, mental, spiritual. This total is not only the physical health. So you're very right in pointing that out.
And there is so much pressure with the society, and I hope that the Gen Zs are coming. They are outspoken. Everybody's saying they are outspoken. I'm so happy they are expressive, not the
Yes, yes, yes.
and that is going to increase their mental health. I mean, they will be happy at least.
And the social media.
Yeah.
So in the social media, everybody posts their happiest faces.
Yes.
So we think that every person is happy except me.
Yeah, that pressure is so much. Let's really talk about this, na? 4-5. Yes. So, what do you think? The social media pressure is also impacting our stress?
Absolutely. Because we think that only I'm the only person who is unhappy. Look at everyone. Everyone is enjoying their life. They're going abroad. They're having their picnics. They're wearing good clothes and gold. Only I'm the only person who is crying. But we do not understand it is just one part of their life. Everyone is struggling with their own battle. Everyone has their own battle to fight. So we ignored that. We overlooked that.
So, with this social media pressure, there is one more pressure. So, there are so many single mothers or single ladies in the society. Now, the pressure is, do you have the savings? What you have for your kid? What you have for yourself? And what are you doing? Are you going out late? Why?
Yes.
So, there are so many things.
Yes.
And that is also impacting them.
Yes, yes.
So, not just the social media, but society pressure is also there.
Society pressure is also there. Yes, we have so many lone women these days. People, girls, they choose not to marry. They choose to be alone. So that should not raise an eyebrow around. And if it does, we have to ignore it. So one day, if everything starts with a one person, but gradually, then it becomes a norm.
Yeah.
So when more and more women are single and they are more confident, people will get used to it. Nowadays, we have many solo women group. We see so many groups who are going out alone.
Yes.
They are not scared of anything. They dress as they want. They enjoy their life as they want, irrespective of the age. So I think these are very, very good signals we are having that the world is changing and gradually people will accept.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I say it or not, but I saw one video of Acharya Prashant, and what I heard is he was correctly pointing out that women are judging by their body part, not with their mindset, right?
Yes.
So if somebody is saying कि तुम गवार हो, so she'll accept it. If somebody will say you are a characterless, she'll not accept it. What does that mean? It means गवार कैसे सुन सकती हो तुम?
Yes. Yes.
So he actually very well cleared it out कि you have to be very powerful with every negative word on yourself. नहीं सुनना है कुछ भी.
Yes.
And because आपने वहाँ सुन लिया और बाद में वो आपको स्ट्रेस देने ही वाला है. So either ignore it or the reply.
Yes.
Get ready for the reply.
Yes. And that is where we talked about earlier that you have to be very confident about yourself.
Yes.
You cannot allow anyone to tread over. I am as I am. I am not here to please somebody else. So that confidence, inward confidence is very, very important. If I do not have confidence within myself, why will others have confidence in me?
Absolutely.
If I don't believe in myself, why will others believe in me? So I have to believe in myself first, only then others will believe.
Yes. And we need to work hard on this thing to be the strong person.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was so nice to talk with you.
Yeah, same here, Ravitesh. I really enjoyed this Sunday afternoon.
I hope this is going to help many women outside there. Also, the men. Actually, there are so many men who are supporting women, and that's why we are here.
Many, absolutely. There are many men.
So I'm
who are very
thankful to them. Yes. So, this
so
is
many
for everybody.
fathers, father-in-laws, brothers, and husbands. There are many who are supportive, and that is why the world is so nice.
Yes. So thank you so much for being here. Now, this was the episode 1 of the Built Mind, and I'm so happy with this season. Let's start for the next